women in Sweden have it better than women in Singapore? After all, Swedish parents are entitled to 480 days of parental leave, which works out to 16 months, regardless of whether they are married or single. In Singapore, women are entitled to 4 months of maternity leave, while the fathers get 1 week and the option to take a week's leave for mom's maternity leave. A subsidized childcare system in Sweden, where parents pay around $200 a month for the first child, also encourages mothers to stay in the workforce. In Singapore, the cost of full-day childcare ranges from $300 to $2,600 a month. In addition, Sweden is ranked 4th in the world for gender equality according to the Global Gender Gap report, while Singapore falls far below at 55.
Decades ago, we found a formula to make it possible for women to combine motherhood and work life. And I think that is the reason why Europe, other parts of Europe are facing these problems, because European women want to have a work life, and if they can't combine that with having kids, they don't have kids. And that becomes a problem for society as a whole.
But the 16 months of parental leave does have its drawbacks. Women do tend to take the bulk, or around 75% of the parental leave entitlement. The result? Swedish women end up earning 14% less than the men, as detailed in an Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD report in 2012. The same report also found that only 31% of senior managers in Sweden are women.
Normally in Sweden you get a salary increase every year, but when you are at home it's not so easy to tell your company that you want more money, because you are only at home doing nothing, playing with a child. So then you lose a little bit of the level, the yearly increase of your salary. So if you have 2-3 children, then you can be at home for quite a long time, and then maybe you lose a little bit of your salary increase in the total.
I think, of course, that's an issue. You can see it just to employ a woman in the 30s could be maybe she wants to have children, but it's so natural now here in Sweden. It's like a part of the life. So it's very natural, and it's very natural now that the men go as well to stay home.
As a collective, there is a major risk that employers consider females as a more high-risk population, because very many of them are off work for a much longer time than most men are. And we see that in lower wages, we see it in different aspects. And at least we acknowledge this is a problem, and we try to promote more men to spend time on paternity leave as well.
Gender equality is a big part of the Swedish system, with Sweden regarded as one of the world's most gender egalitarian countries. But it's not just at the workplace. Gender equality is promoted to the Swedish people from a very young age when the children enter preschool.
One school in particular, Ikelia Preschool in Stockholm, has forbidden its teachers from using the pronouns him and her, and gotten children there to refer to one another simply as friends. The Swedish government aims to promote gender equality from a young age, and one of the ways it is doing so is by encouraging more male teachers or pedagogues to work at preschools.
I'm convinced that if you have male pedagogues as well, a lot of things happens, because then you really get the awareness. One male teacher, all kids want to be with that guy, and they want to battle with him and run with him, and he gets a male stereotype among all the women. But now when there are 3 or 4 men, it normalizes, and you really can see that men are different among themselves, and women are different. And I think that's a very important step.
So is Sweden the best country for women? While a large percentage of Swedish women are in the workforce, there is still a wage gap and a disproportionate number of women in high positions. It may not be very different in Singapore, but women here do not enjoy as many benefits. Swedish mothers have 4 times more maternity leave than their Singaporean counterparts and pay less for childcare. So while there might be downsides to the Swedish system, at least it encourages mothers to continue working. Keep watching Razor TV as we bring you more stories from Sweden, including how the Swedish model of encouraging its citizens to have children compares to Singapore.